Good evening, and welcome to today's edition of Be a Singular Sensation. Today I'm joined with Ms. Michelle Rao. She is the co-chair of the Prince William County Chamber's Education and Innovation Committee. Welcome to the show, Michelle.
Thank you, Sydney, for
I'm so
having me.
glad you could be here. You do so much in the community. Could you tell us about your committee with the Chamber?
Absolutely. The Innovation and Education Committee with the Prince William Chamber is the most active committee in the Chamber. We are primarily focused on developing the workforce of today and tomorrow. So we are very involved with the school systems in all three levels, with both elementary, middle, and high school, and with Prince William County Schools, the City of Manassas, and Manassas Park Schools. We coordinate efforts to help develop not only at a young age reading requirements, but as well as soft skills with networking, and then job shadowing, career fairs, and other avenues to pursue learning involvement for the kids.
Okay, that's a lot of work on
It
top
is.
of what you normally do for your 9 to 5 or 6
Yes.
to 10, or whatever we may call it.
Absolutely.
So, you all have a wonderful program that I have volunteered for in the past, and I look forward to it in my community every year, the National Young Readers Day. Can you tell our audience what is National Young Readers Day?
Absolutely. National Young Readers Day is an event that is held normally on the second or third Tuesday of November every year. When we have elections, it has to be the third because the schools are closed on the second Tuesday. This year it's Tuesday, November 15th. And we as a community involvement piece go and recruit business organizations to volunteer their staff and their company to go into the schools and read books to the elementary school students. We also ask the volunteers to share their joy of reading and how reading has helped them in their career and in their education throughout their lives.
So, this will be a good opportunity if any of you watching are authors, maybe of children's books. Could they come in and read their own books to the children?
Absolutely. If they are a children's author, the teachers really enjoy having the guest authors in. I think the kids get a big kick out of that as well. And then those authors could talk about how they learned or decided they wanted to write a children's book. And it may spark some interest for those kids who aren't sure what they want to do or maybe enjoy writing and don't know how to get started. And it's a great contact for them even at a young age to start thinking in that way.
So, how many schools do you have signed up every year for this program?
It varies, but this year I believe we're right at 40 schools, elementary schools. And then we coordinate about 400 volunteers to read at those 40 elementary schools.
Now, does this go on all day long, or are there certain time frames for certain schools, maybe?
Every school is a little different. We have a team of coordinators that I work with who are in charge of a certain number of schools. They work directly with the school to set a schedule. Most of the schools prefer their reading times to be in the morning before lunch, so it's anywhere from 9:30 till about noon. But there are some schools who have some afternoon times due to scheduling conflicts and educational time that they need to take.
So, what is a typical National Young Readers Day like for a volunteer? What could they expect?
Well, the schools are very excited to have them. So normally there's some sort of welcome committee when they check in at the school. The school will then let them know which classroom they're going to read. They'll usually give them some sort of map or even have an escort, which sometimes is a student. Sometimes it's one of the administrators that will walk them to the classroom, introduce them to the class, and then they'll have about 15 minutes of reading time with that class. They will read to 3 classrooms within the hour that is expected of them to volunteer for, and then they will rotate to the next classroom. They can either bring their own book, their favorite children's book, or the reading specialist will normally have books selected for them based on the grade that they're reading at.
Okay, and so what are you looking for in volunteers? Can you describe your ideal volunteer?
Sure. Since I head the committee that works on this project, my goal is to have as many businesses adopt a school as possible. And what that means is that they would supply the majority of the readers for that school. Now that can be a smaller school might only need 5 or 6 readers. A larger school can need all the way up to 40 readers. So depending on the size of the business and how much they want to commit. But we can also take individual readers who just want to volunteer for an hour. The minimum that we would like somebody to volunteer is an hour, but this is a volunteer program. So if you can volunteer 20 minutes, we will take you for 20 minutes.
All right. What about clubs, like high school clubs? Do you have any high school clubs ever participate? Maybe they'll get the kids to the school.
Absolutely. A lot of the schools, the feeder schools, will go and read at their feeder elementary school. So I know Stonewall Jackson has a few of their clubs that will go in. I know the Beta Club and others. I think the Future Teachers also go and read.
Awesome.
So there are a lot of the schools that coordinate with their feeder elementary school. And, you know, those kids came from that school, so
Yes.
it's fun for them to go back to the school. They see some of their teachers, and now they're the ones volunteering and reading to the students.
Okay. So the National Young Readers Day is November 15th this year, correct?
Yes, it is.
So when is your last day to sign up to be a volunteer? And how do they, if I have someone home watching now, how do they sign up to volunteer?
Great question. The best way for them to sign up is to email me directly, because I have the list of all the schools, and we'll shortly have all of the schedules for all of those schools, so I'll know the timings and the needs. And they can just email me directly, and then I will respond and find out which area of the county they're looking at, and get them to the proper coordinator to schedule a time for them. The last day for sign up, as much as I hate to say it, would be that morning. That has happened because people get sick. They have
Yes.
kids, you know,
Life.
things happen, right? Life happens. So we will gladly take a sign up that morning and sometimes fill you in somewhere last minute for a cancellation. But the earlier the better. I know the coordinators sleep better at night when they're going into the last week
Yes.
with their schedules full of volunteers.
Yes.
But if you're a business and you're really interested in adopting a school, we can definitely find a school for you to adopt. And that doesn't mean you have to fill 100% of the spaces. Even if you can do 60%, 50%, that's what the coordinators are for. We're there to fill in the gaps with individual volunteers that maybe you as a business can't support that whole school.
Okay. And this episode is all about National Young Readers Day, but I have to ask, because you do so much, is there anything else coming up beyond that through the rest of the year that you'd like to highlight?
Well, one of the other programs that we are working on shortly is speed networking. And that's where we coordinate with an area high school. It's usually a FBLA or a business department to teach them the soft skills of networking. It's something that doesn't really get touched on in their normal curriculum, but is a very important skill, as you know, to grow a business or to just further your career or even find your first job. So we go in, again, recruit business volunteers, and the students plan the event from A to Z.
Oh, wow.
They coordinate everything. They have to work with administration at the school, get space reserved. They have to find food vendors to come in and be their food sponsors. And then we help them fill in the volunteers, the business volunteers.
That is awesome. You are doing a lot with your committee at the chamber.
We are. And then our innovation side is really all about the workforce development. And they're working with the schools who are already hosting career fairs, and they then find businesses to come in and be at those career fairs with the kids.
That is
So,
awesome.
yeah.
You know, there are so many good things going on in Prince William County. That's why I'm always thrilled to do these shows, because I think I know what we're talking about, but I've learned so much about what you all do. I'm just really excited
Thank
to
you.
get my membership form in.
Absolutely.
So that's all we have for today. Remember, kids, you should be reading anyway, 20 minutes every night. But parents, please remember to be your children's biggest cheerleader, be their biggest fan, be their inspiration, and be a singular sensation. Till next time.